Welcome to the latest edition of the Dealing with Goliath podcast. The mission with Dealing with Goliath podcast is to sharpen the psychological edge in business leaders with skin in the game who want to be more effective under pressure, uncover hidden value, and increase profitability. We deliver an espresso shot of insight to boost business performance using our 5 questions in 9 minutes format. Now, our guest today is a very special guest indeed. Mr. Tom Poland is a multiple best-selling author specializing in the generation of inbound leads for clients in more than 27 cities around the world. He has started and sold numerous businesses over the last 39 years and has led teams of over 100 people generating more than 20 million in revenue. He claims to be voluntarily married and lives and works from his home, which sits on the golden sand next to white waves and blue water at Little Castaway Beach in Australia. That does sound pretty ideal there, Tom. How's the weather there today?
It's pretty much perfect. Blue skies, sun is shining, the birds are singing, and I'm above the ground. So it's another great day.
It's another great day. Very glad to hear it. Very glad to hear it. So let's get straight into the questions. As I said there, it is going to be just 9 minutes. I'm going to start the clock here on you, Tom, and we're going to dive straight in. So
Super.
The clock starts with 9 minutes now. So who's your ideal client and what's the biggest challenge that they face?
Ideal client are professionals. These are marketing services, advice, or software. So something intangible. And their average transaction is typically thousands of dollars or more. So these are quite often business consultants, business coaches, corporate trainers, SaaS developers, perhaps financial planners, and so on. But the common denominator is they don't have something physical they sell, and their average transaction is, on the premium side of things, as I said, thousands, tens of thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Very good.
The biggest problem they face is getting a systematic flow of high quality inbound new client inquiries. Because if they do that, they're happy chappies and chapesses. And if they don't do that, they have a lot of anxiety.
Very good. So you have just over 8 minutes left. What are the common mistakes people make when trying to solve that problem? So trying to get those inbound leads.
Well, I think the biggest one is random acts of marketing. So they can see that perhaps a couple of clients are finishing up soon and they don't have a replacement for them. So they rush out, well, before COVID-19, they'd rush out to business networking meetings or conferences and kind of hope to get lucky, in a new client type of way. And maybe they do, and maybe they just run a Facebook Live, or maybe they put some, box flyers out or something. But there's nothing rinse and repeatable about what they're doing that's going to give predictable results. So I would say random acts of marketing, or whatever form that might take, it's just let's get out there and do something, which is better than nothing, but it doesn't create that predictability and the scalability and the certainty that they'd really want.
Outstanding stuff. And you've just 7 minutes left, plenty of time. What is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help with that issue?
Well, the big one, I think, is to make sure their marketing message is going to get cut through and that it gets noticed. So whether their marketing message is, people talk about this as a USP or an elevator pitch or something like that, but whatever we call it, it's going to go in the title of their presentation, be that a seminar or webinar or on a book or in an article or wherever it is, on their website, on a landing page, in a video offer, wherever they put it. There's got to be this succinct expression that's benefit rich, that contains specifics, and that's different to what their competitors are saying. If it's not different, it's not going to get noticed. So to get the cuts through, it's got to be different, and it's got to be different in a more desirable way, hence the benefit rich. It's got to be believable, and that's where the specifics come in. So my marketing message is around enjoying a weekly flow of high quality inbound new client inquiries. It's very specific. There's weekly and there's very benefit rich. So, and to help people with that, because there is a fair bit to this getting it right, I have a little website called 5hourchallenge.com. The word 5hourchallenge.com. And that walks people through over 5 days, a 10-minute video each day. And if they do the 10-minute video and the action item, a total of 1 hour a day over the 5 days. And that should generate them 5 fresh leads. But in the process of doing that, and there's no charge for that, by the way, but in the process of doing that, I will teach them how to create a marketing message that gets cut through and motivates people to want to know more.
Excellent stuff. That somewhat answers the next question, which is what one valuable free resource can you direct?
Oh no, I've got lots more.
Well, that's it. Do you have another one? I'm going to go for a second one
I do.
For the viewers, Tom.
Folks can by all means consume that, but also come to www.leadgendemo.live.
Excellent.
So that's where they can register for an online event, a live online event, Al, where they can see exactly how I generate leads in around about 90 minutes every month, how I generate high quality inbound new client inquiries, and they flow in through pretty much every week of every month of every year. So again, it's something free, but if they want to get beyond just the marketing message and look at an actual exercise that's rinse and repeatable, that brings in a predictable flow of high quality new client inquiries on a regular basis, then leadgendemo.live is where they want to go.
Outstanding stuff, Tom. Outstanding stuff. Just coming up to 4 minutes left. Plenty of time. Last question, question number 5. What's the one question I should have asked you that would be great value to our audience?
Probably what's the biggest mistake people make when they write a book, when they present, when they do a pitch, when they're in a sales conversation with someone. And the biggest mistake that people make is making the thing too complicated. We've got to present how we work with our clients once we've got a prospect in a way that is so simple that literally a 12-year-old would get it. But the default position for most people when they're starting out, and even actually for some people that are more experienced, is they feel a compulsion to make the thing so freaking complicated that people will think they're a genius. And that they may achieve that end, but the enemy of motivation is complication. If we give people a lot of complex information that might actually be a comprehensive treatment of our subject, of how we work with our clients, but nevertheless, if we burden them with anything that's complicated, then they won't make a decision. They'll go away and want to think about it, which basically means they'll go and chase someone else's shiny thing and not yours. So I would say that the biggest mistake people make in their marketing is a complicated description of how they work with their clients. So we've got to keep it simple. No more than 3 parts to the process when you describe to a client that on a webinar or a seminar or a sales pitch, whatever it is, this is how it all works. 3 parts. That's it. Nice and simple.
Mm-hmm. Excellent stuff. Still have just 2 minutes left. What would be some of those other big common misinterpretations? Because you must see you're an expert at marketing. You've been doing it in all sorts of different areas for so long at this stage. There, as you see, you spot the patterns, and you've mentioned some of them. But let's go for a third block here. Why not?
Other mistakes?
Yeah. What are some of those big ones that you always see?
Well, one of the big ones is to think that Facebook is going to be the answer to your prayers in terms of leads. You know, setting up split ads and Facebook funnels and landing pages. And I did it for 5 years and made good money out of it, but it's become incredibly expensive. And as the cost per click has increased, we used to get an email subscriber through a free PDF book for $1 a pop. And now it's $12 a pop. And I know what I'm doing with marketing. It's complicated. It's expensive. A lot of people fall into the idea of saying, well, if I put $100 a month in it, I can see if I can make it work or not. It's not worth $1 a month. It's going to suck so much of your time. So setting up this utopian idea of having an online funnel that's just going to feed me with all these new client inquiries, and I just sit back kind of, on the beach and let all the money wash over my beautiful body while all the clients flood my bank account with money. It's BS. And the only people who are making money out of that are the people that are telling you it's going to work and you should buy their program or their course. So that's a big mistake, is thinking that you can use Facebook to generate high quality leads. If you're selling a $27 widget, you probably can. But if you're a consultant or a business coach, or you're offering software as a service, which involves an ongoing relationship with a potential client, then it's not the place to be.
Outstanding stuff, Tom. You're a very timely man. You have just 20 seconds left, so we will pause it there. Outstanding stuff, and thank you for being a guest on the show today.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Al.
Outstanding
Appreciate the
stuff.
opportunity.
Cheers, Tom. Wonderful.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.